Next up, we're going to do the 14 pin right angle through hole male header. It's going to go like this so that it can face outward to connect to the LED array module. Cool. So we're going to flip it over. You can use tape or something else to secure it. But one good way to make sure that it's nice and flush is we're going to just solder one pin and then we'll adjust and then solder the other pin. And then we're going to reflow it and we're going to push it down and push it flush into place. As you see, it's already kind of off. But be careful when you do that. If you're touching the pin you're soldering, it's going to get hot. You should be able to push it into place. Excellent. Double check. Looks pretty good on this side. Careful not to touch it. It's hot. Then we're going to do the other pin. Good. And the same idea. So we're going to reflow this one. Careful not to touch that specific pin, and we'll readjust it as necessary. Make it nice and flush. You can do a back and forth thing with each of them to get it to where you want it to be. Cool. So it looks good to me. Looks flush. Looks relatively straight and even. Great. So the next thing we're going to do is solder the rest of the pins. All right, and that should be pretty straightforward. Good. And then you don't have to, it's completely optional, but I like to trim off the pins, as you can tell. So then we have our little 14 pin connector that goes to the LED array module. Next up, we're going to solder on the dip connector. So the dip connector goes on like this, push it in there nicely, and now we're going to just solder just like we did for the connector, the header pin. We're going to do just one pin on one edge or in one corner, adjust as necessary, the other corner, and then we just do the other pins. Good. And then again, completely optional. If you want, you can trim off the pins here. Looks nice. Next thing we're going to do is the DS232 or 3231 real-time clock module. And of course, we'll employ the same technique that we have been. Do one pin just as necessary, and this one you probably definitely need to. It's not straight at all. Now if we look at it, it should be perfectly straight now. Then we do the other pin so that it's secure on there. Adjust if necessary. Good. And then you just do the last few remaining pins. Good. Trim off if interested, again optional. Nice. So that's where our DS3231 is going to fit. And then last thing we do is the battery. So we have our battery. You see plus minus, so the red goes in the plus and the black goes in the minus. We could solder from this edge too if you wanted, but I think it looks nicer being away over here and kind of hidden. A little tricky. I'm going to push it in and then kind of bend them. Push it down on this edge, and I have just the two pins. You can use tape or something else to kind of secure it for you. This should be fine. And then just solder. Perfect. Cut if you are interested, or if you even can. Usually there's not much showing. Great. Flip it over, and then you can see our battery here. So one thing I'm going to do off camera is actually I'm going to apply some hot glue on this, because if you bend these wires over and over too many times, they fall off very easily. So what I'll do is I'm going to apply a little bit of hot glue to kind of keep it in there so that, you know, the wire bends here instead of at the joint. Cool. All right. So we're going to put this away for now. I'm going to hot glue it off camera, and then we'll do the LED array module next.